everyone. I'm Donna Bush with your CIG TV News Brief on this Tuesday. At this year's Queen's Birthday celebrations, it was announced that Chief Justice, the Honorable Anthony Smellie, has received the honor of knighthood from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Knight Commander, DCMG, the Honorable Anthony Stafford Smellie, QC, Chief Justice, for services to law and justice in the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean.
CIG Television recently met with the Honorable Chief Justice to talk about his career and the honor bestowed upon him.
A very significant honor, but I don't see it as a mark of personal distinction as much as a mark of approval for a job well done. The difference, I think, is very important, because as a mark of approval for a job well done, it also recognizes not only my own efforts, but the efforts of all of us involved in the administration of justice. My wonderful colleagues of the judiciary, as well as all the support staff of all ranks and file of the judicial administration. And I think it also recognizes that this job well done has brought us to the stage where we can regard the justice system in the Cayman Islands as being something of a center of excellence, something to be really proud of.
The knighthood is for his services to law and justice in the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean region. We spoke with Mr. Smellie about some of the highlights of his 24-year career as Chief Justice.
Well, it's been a long journey. And I suppose we could look at different stages of it. But immediately coming to mind would be the establishment of the diversionary treatment courts, such as the Drug Rehabilitation Treatment Court, which has been a departure from the traditional way of dealing with what would be regarded as criminal offending, by recognizing that people who are involved in some of these offenses, such as drug abuse, are not doing it because of criminal propensity, but because of dependency, and therefore treating them as if they were simply criminals is not an insightful way of addressing the problem. So we did establish that court, and we have been working in the pilot stages for the domestic violence court and the mental health court for the same kinds of reasons.
He noted many other achievements of the judiciary during his career, including the establishment of the Financial Services Division that is recognized as one of the leaders in the world, the Family Mediation Initiative, and the work towards becoming a paperless environment. He also spoke of some of the challenges faced by the courts.
Unfortunately, lasting challenge has been the lack of modern facilities. It's been a perennial problem, the lack of courtrooms, a modern environment in which to operate, despite promises. But nonetheless, I'm still hopeful that these will be provided, and there are plans, as I think the public will be aware, hopefully to be realized once we are over the economic setbacks of the pandemic, the latest challenge.
Mr. Smellie is on the New Year's honors list for 2023. He will retire as Chief Justice later this year on October 31st. Well, Hazard Management Cayman Islands is starting a new flood sensor initiative on the 3 Cayman Islands. Mitigation specialist Mark Codlin shares the details with us.
So we're in the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resilience, and as a key stakeholder, we have Weather Service, also Department of Environment, or I would say major key players in working together in understanding these flood risks. So one of the things we're looking at is to establish what we call a network of flood sensors. So we're looking in these areas where we are flood prone and have these equipment installed. So the idea is to really get real-time information of when there's a flooding event, more so measuring the water level. So what we have looked at in particular, there are certain contributors of flooding. So it could be a case where there might be cleaning needs for cleaning a drain. Could be, yes, we understand that the area is flat, but of course the water sometimes subsides and moves away. But it's important for us to alert and notify the public in the event of any major flooding. So we're working with a series of stakeholders on this and see if we can definitely start with a pilot Recently, we did some drone mapping in the area of Randike, which we know that's one of those areas that are very flood prone, especially when it comes to heavy torrential rainfall, and as well as if we experience any form of coastal flooding. So we're trying to heighten the awareness and to work with the stakeholders. And one of the key things we're doing next is to engage these communities. So we're looking to employ this project essentially right across Grand Cayman, and also looking into the sister islands as well. We're trying to establish, especially from this project, planning is a part of this initiative, as well as NRA. So the idea is when we have these devices in these areas, we're able to ascertain the source of flooding. So give us a better idea, because you know, as you mentioned, if there's any form of development close by, it may impact persons, existing residents or lots. So you get better understanding and what mitigation efforts can we employ to alleviate this problem and reduce the risk. So that's where we're trying to use the science to kind of guide us, to direct us. Where's the source? Identify those sources and have the problem resolved. So we're making these steps gradually in the right direction.
If you live in a flood-prone area and would like guidelines on how you can best prepare and how to get your family ready for the hurricane season, go online to caymanprepare.gov.ky for the details. Turning to our forecast, which calls for mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of showers. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. The outlook for the next 2 days is for weather conditions to be similar through Thursday night. Now, the synopsis calls for isolated showers, which are expected today due to an upper-level trough over the Yucatan Channel, and light easterly winds and slight seas will continue across the Cayman Islands area for the next 24 hours. Of course, that's due to a weak pressure gradient that's across the Caribbean region. A reminder that you can find the latest local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Donna Bush, as always inviting you to join us back here again on Wednesday night. Until then, be safe. Have a wonderful night.